Northern Brewery takes you where home brewing and craft brewing meet. From pro breweries to home breweries, we live and breathe beer. Craft beer celebrities, homebrew luminaries, brew sessions, and most important of all, lots of great beer. You are watching Brewing TV.
Good morning, welcome to Brewing TV. I'm your host, Michael Dawson.
I'm your other host, Jake Keeler.
New year, new beer. Time to clean house. Time to use up all these odds and ends lying around, all these random ingredients. Time to bash them together into something creative, like we homebrewers do, but let's make it interesting, BTV style.
We're gonna go head to head. I've got my random assortment of ingredients.
I've got mine here.
And we're gonna brew up separate batches, and in 4 to 5 weeks, we're gonna do some tasting notes. We're gonna try to determine what went into each respective batch, and then Chip, as a third party, being so objective about these sort of things, is gonna determine which beer is better.
Blam.
So, we're gonna get started on this brew day. I'm gonna brew right here on this kitchen stove.
Can I use the other burner?
No, I got a spot picked out for you. Dawson, you're out there, and it's 10 degrees. Good luck!
We are brewing without home court advantage. I've been banished to the patio. That's cool. I don't care. I would have let Jake brew in my garage at least. Be sheltered from the elements. It's the single digits today here in sunny St. Paul, and wind chill is well below zero. I don't care. Got my...
Oh man, is it cold out here.
What's up, t-shirt?
Gonna get started here on the stove top.
Nice and warm in the kitchen, huh?
Yes, it is.
That's all right.
Yes,
I'm building character.
All right, well, good luck out here.
Yeah, you have good luck in there too.
And because Dawson's a strong dude. Yeah! See you later, buddy. These are some steeping grains. It's a lot, actually. It's 2 pounds of steeping grains. Totally leftover. It was from a beer kit that we had at Northern Brew that we no longer carry. So I grabbed it out of the breaker, and it's totally plays into the whole kitchen sink beer, you know? Kitchen, you get, I do jokes. I actually don't even know what's in these, what's in this concoction, this mixture. I know there's some crystal malts in here. There's probably a few, maybe some base malt, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Notice I will be adding 3 pounds of dark malt syrup, 6 pounds of gold. So it's gonna be a pretty dark beer. Should be a dark amber, possibly a dark brown. Hit it up with a mixture of Centennial, Mount Rainier, and Cascade hops. Smells really good. Just a tiny bit for bittering, and then most of it on the back end. And then, when I keg it, I'm gonna hit it up with 3 ounces of Centennial and Cascade whole leaf hops from my backyard.
Know something, citizens? Age and treachery will always defeat youth and skill. And I'm older than Keeler, and I'm a lot meaner. What would you do if you were trying to fool somebody with a bill of ingredients and a finished beer? 16 different grains? This is some reverse psychology right here. This is a single malt. This is a single malt beer. Borrowing a page from the book of Keeler, 3-gallon, all grain, full volume mash, brew in a bag. I've got some Malto Franco Belges, Pilsner malt, and that's it. Also, doughed in cold, slowly bringing the temp up. This is gonna be a strong beer. Not home field advantage, I'm gonna have to bring this inside to keep the temperature up because you can hear that wind gust. It's not gonna hold temp out here.
Cold malt syrup. I didn't give this a hot water bath. Oh well.
Overshot the mash temperature a little bit. That's not gonna be a huge problem to correct on a day like today. I'm gonna carry this thing inside. Try to hold the temperature a little better during the 75-minute sack rest. And I'll tell you about the rest of my recipe. Don't slip, oh gosh. All right.
I don't want to be a total jerk about this, so peace offering.
Thank you.
Little hoppy amber brew in a bag.
Show me what you got. Wow, we are just being exceptionally polite for a sort of semi-competitive brew day.
Mm-hmm. There you are.
Thank you, sir. Oh, that's just looks lovely.
Yeah.
You did a really nice job on this beer, Jake Keeler.
Thank you, Michael Dawson. I wanted to remind you of what I'm capable of.
I only hope that my beer that I am brewing today turns out a shadow of this magnificence. I'm gonna give you a smell. And this isn't the first time you've heard me say that, right? So see if you can guess what grains I'm using.
Should I move my head in any way, shape, or form?
You know, I'm just gonna waft it up to you. You just leave your head right where it is.
Okay. That's a bit of two-row. Maybe a little Munich. Yeah.
Yeah, two-row in
Two-row
Munich. Yeah.
There's
That's
something else in there, but
that's uncanny, dude. That's pretty good.
yeah.
That nose serves you well.
I know it's good for something, right?
Okay, but that's all right. I got a secret weapon. It's just Pils malt, but 2 pounds of D180 candy syrup in a handsome water bottle mini growler, available at Northern Brewer. This is beet sugar and date sugar. It's got a little molasses mixed into hot cocoa flavor. This is gonna do nice things for my Belgian quad. It's gonna make it taste like there's a lot more in here than just Pils malt. It's also gonna give us a wicked gravity boost and a wicked fermentability boost. Did you guys see when he was trying to guess that grist? Two-row. Pils malt is two-row. Give him that. Process-driven complexity, that's what I'm after. Gonna do a little open fermentation on this mug. Talk about terroir in wine. Terroir, the expression of the environment via the grape into the finished product. Wind chill, that's a terroir in this Belgian quad. Not only are we out here in our shirt sleeves, high maintenance videographer is wearing slippers in the snow.
3, 2, 1. Whether it's a pale ale or, Mike, what do you have there?
Imperial smoked oatmeal brown ale, man.
Well, see, that's the beauty of home brewing. You can make any concoction, exotic or not, that you want. We are in Jake's house doing some home brewing. We'll have that story coming up.
And what brew day would be complete without a late edition of News Crew? Fox 9 KMSP morning show reporter M.A. Roscoe and photojournalist Chip Elmquist showed up to do a story on Northern Brewer, Brewing TV, and the popularity of home brewing.
You are with Northern Brewer,
Correct.
A place that does classes but also sells all the equipment you need to start brewing at home. And that brings me to my first question, which is, how popular is home brewing?
It's very popular right now. It's estimated there are about 1 million people in the country homebrewing today, and it's grown explosively over the last 3 to 4 years. They start as homebrewers and then they become craft brewers. So I think people want to be a part of that continuum. They want to be a part of the story that's going on right now and the explosive growth of craft beer and homebrewing in America.
So all the folks from Surly, from Liftbridge, from Boom Island, all those people, they started basically kind of where we are right now.
Yeah, and many of them started as customers at Northern Brewer.
Well, thank you for sharing the brewing process with us. When we come back, we're going to tell you about how these guys, well, they don't just brew beer, they make a web TV show about brewing beer, and it's gotten many accolades. I'll cheers to that. Prost.
Gross.
And back to you.
With the news shoot going so well, the brew day going so well, we couldn't help but break out in song.
Awful brew and brew around. You're still going, brewing tea. Not going anywhere, brewing tea. Awful brew and 3 and 7 sucks. Brewing TV. Brewing TV. Brewing TV. Awful brew and brew around.
All right, we're just starting to boil. Oh, you found my hop cache. Homegrown Liberty, Palisade. I love Palisade, especially in Belgian ales. It's got Swiss Tettnanger parentage. Reminds me a lot of East Kent Goldings, both of which are banging for lots of Belgian beers. It's gonna give us some resiny floral character, some spice from that homegrown Liberty. Blend of hops, you dig? Don't tell Keeler any of this. This is all top secret. You saw that flask in there in the sunroom? That's a decoy. That's not my yeast that I'm gonna use for this. That's just some slurry. That's just trube from the bottom of a fermenter. I don't trust that guy not to spit in it. He thinks he's gonna get the best of me by sending me to brew my Belgian quad outside. I was born in a Clayton County blizzard, and my daddy was a Yeti and my mama was a Wendigo. A Wendigo, that's a good question, Chip. It's a cannibalistic spirit of the North Woods. It's a legend of the Algonquin, Chippewa Indians, kind of the upper Great Lakes region. Secret ingredient, totally inaccessible to Keeler. Dog hair, boom. In certain cultures, they use long-haired German Shepherd fur as a kettle fining. I'm totally making that up, but don't tell Keeler that. He'll believe anything. I'm giving myself a little bit of a handicap here. This is gonna be a really strong beer, and if we are doing the tasting as soon as Keeler is pushing for, I don't know what he's got going on, but this is gonna be a 10 to 11% ABV beer. It might not show really well in its first few weeks of life. It might be a little headachy, but I'm kind of counting on Chip Walton's sweet tooth there. You know, a little ABV. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Walton? Man, that wind is picking up. Let's go back inside. Screw this.
Howdy, folks. Sorry you missed some of the process of making this beer, but we had some guests over today. M.A. Roscoe and her cameraman came by to shoot a story about brewing TV and home brewing. So I want to thank, first of all, Fox 9 News and M.A. Roscoe and Chip. Yes, their cameraman's name is Chip as well. They were great. They took the time to know what we were doing. They were super interested in what we were doing. And hey, I'd have them back to my house anytime. Back to the process at hand. I'm chilling down this beer, which became sort of a photo shoot prop beer. And what I mean that is we put a lot of DME, LME hops into this beer over the shoot. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to turn out. So we're going to chill it down regardless. We're going to pitch the wort on top of a yeast cake right here. Some USO5, left over from a brew in a bag batch that I just transferred to keg not too long ago. So this is my first time doing this, so we'll see what happens. So a lot of first time experiments going on, and hey, that's home brewing. Don't tell Dawson, but my secret ingredient, M.A. Roscoe. I'm predicting that this is going to be an American brown ale. It's probably going to be about 5% to 5.5% alcohol. It's going to be brownish in color. It's pretty hoppy, so it's going to be similar to our caribou slobber recipe, I believe. So I think this is going to be like an American brown ale, but I have 100% confidence that Dawson will not be able to figure out what went into this, when it went in.
Thanks for the munchies, man.
It's the least I can do.
Thanks for the beers, man.
It's just a little bit more than the least I could do.
That's true. This was a good brew day.
It was a good brew day.
Nothing wrong with hanging out with a couple good friends, making some beer.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. I'm gonna crush you.
Oh, you think so?
You're never gonna guess what's in my beer.
Well, you're never gonna guess what's in my beer, and you're never gonna guess how I got it in there.
Have you ever brewed anything weird? I'm not talking to you, Chip, but we know about that. I'm talking to you, citizens. Have you ever bashed anything together creatively, as homebrewers are wont to do?
From the kitchen sink to the glasses that clink, what have you made that's a Frankenstein brew?
Tell us about it. And come back in a few weeks and join us as we taste today's beers.
My monster is going to crush your monster.
No way, dude. My Pokemon is the strongest. All for brew.
Brew for all. Mine's going to be better.
Two months later, a little longer than expected. That might actually work out better for this guy's beer. And this guy's beer, duh.
You might call this day Thursday, but in reality it is Judgment Day.
Why don't you first tell the people what these beers ended up being named and what they're being served out of?
I'll go first. I decided to call mine MA's Deep Amber for the simple fact that MA said she likes hoppy amber beers, and this one is. And the news crew had a direct effect on the ingredients that went into my beer and the length of the boil, which was probably about 2 hours. And some of the hop additions I can't really remember because that day was kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah.
That being said, the beer actually ended up okay. Not exactly what I would expect. It's definitely undercarbonated, but I think that is something we have in common. They're equally undercarbonated.
Flat-tastic.
I am serving it out of a handsome new every ounce counts growler. Just got these puppies in, so it's coming in handy right now. Took it off the keg, bringing it here to share with you guys.
Mine is Mystery Quad, also doing business as St. Edhar 12, first among equals. Neil Stevenson, anybody? Yeah. It is a strong Belgian dark ale served in 375 milliliter Belgian bottles. Had a little hint from somebody at Russian River on where we could get these. So these will be available late March, early April through our host, sponsor, and sugar daddy, Northern Brewer. It's been in the bottle for 3 days, and it's cold and it's free.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I'd like to say that I think this beer will be very good once it's carbonated. It's actually, you can tell. It's a little undercarbonated, but I think this is going to be a really great beer. It's the kind of Belgian beer I like. I like strong, dark Belgians. It's got a very clean yeast finish. The esters give off a lot of black currant, a little residual sweetness, which is what I like. I don't like the spiciness. Looking at the color, it's giving me some clues as to the grain you used, maybe some adjuncts to your recent water bottle you've been carrying around, gave you away. So I'm going to take a stab here. I'm going to say definitely some dark candy sugar used in this beer, which probably results in some of that residual sweetness showing up in the flavor profile. Definitely results in some of the coloring. I'm going to say it's a combination of base malt Belgian pills with a little maybe Belgian chocolate in there for a little roundness and color. I don't know, Belgian chocolate?
No chocolate.
And then I don't know, it's hard to pick up the yeast. I guess it was some, obviously it's Belgian strain. I'm thinking it's the Abbey 2 or Trappist, but I'm thinking when you're reminding me of the number 8, I'm thinking it's the Trappist yeast.
3787?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yes!
You're right about the dark candy sugar. It was the D180 syrup. And Pils malt. Belgian Pils and nothing else.
So I had that, but chocolate. So wow, you got a lot of color out of that candy sugar. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it had to be something else. This thing is like black. You know, hops in a beer like this really hard to tell because hops take such a back seat to a beer of this style. I'm just thinking going with Styrian Goldings. Very little, maybe on the tail end. No?
No. Yeah, I used Palisade and Homegrown Liberty.
Okay.
But they're totally buried under this avalanche of bread and chocolate and coffee and spice flavors.
Getting a lot of licorice and pumpernickel, kind of like the licorice bread.
And caraway.
But the licorice is really kept in check. I do not like black licorice. I don't like it in anything, and it's so minimal. It's more of almost a fruit, like a black currant.
I fermented it cold to suppress the phenols, and I fermented it in an unsealed quasi-open
Really?
fermenter to really drive the esters. We'll drink more when it's a little older and when it's busy.
Well done. Good beer.
Thanks, dudes. Dark amber. I get a lot of
amber.
piney citrus and herbal notes. I mean, the nose is predominantly hops. And I'm guessing it's probably a blend of things. And I'm guessing something like Columbus or CTZ is a component of the blend. There might be... There is. Okay. Check. There might be some Centennial or Cascade or something in there.
Check.
Wow. And I'm not sure about the herbal. Maybe that's like some Willamette or Styrian, something vaguely Englishy.
There are 2 other hops in here.
Palisade? Is there Palisade in here? No?
Jake Keeler's new standby.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I know there was a little bit of Mount Rainier in an ounce of that, and then there was 2 ounces of Chinook leaf.
For the dry hop?
Yeah, but that could be completely lost in the Columbus and Cascade. And
No, I mean, I bet
Centennial.
that's part of that pine I'm getting. There's a little bit of like some juicy, fruity kind of caramel malt in the nose, but there's way more of it in the flavor. There's this big rush of like a pretty dark caramel malt, and it gives it that nice ruby color, I bet. Mm-hmm. This is like a 60 or 80 degree crystal malt or caramel malt.
Yep, 60.
Nerd! Is there some like pale chocolate or something in here as well?
No, but
darker specialty.
Getting there.
Another version of malt we're talking about.
Yeah, in the steeping, just to get that color. That dark red.
Cara red.
Yes. The other 2, because I don't think you're going to get them. Because they're not going to show up in the flavor at all. Cararoma and melanoid.
I can see the melanoid. Yeah, and the Cararoma probably helps
No,
build that
oh yeah, melanoid totally
yeah.
protected that.
Oh yeah, now I got the melanoid.
Like the quarter pound of that.
I'm guessing it was probably a fairly pale extract, probably like 7 or 8 pounds total of like a gold or a Pilsen.
It was gold, 6 pounds of gold. There was actually 3.15 pounds of dark LME.
It really turned out remarkably well.
I
So
think
it's pretty stiff too. Then
Yeah,
it's like
It tastes like
it's
it's higher alcohol.
70.
Yeah.
Did you even take a reading?
No, I never took readings.
This is like a battle of ideologies, really, not just a battle of beers, but it's like, well, anyway. I was gonna guess something in the American family, like 1056, US-05,
US-05.
Chico.
Boom.
The one note about that you wouldn't know, but I pitched it on top.
Wouldn't I?
Well, you wouldn't. Maybe you would. I pitched it on top of a batch that I just racked off of US-05.
I knew that. I was looking in your window.
I do think that hop aroma, the dry hops are making up for it now, but really became grassy and died off. Just this beer should have been consumed 2-3 weeks ago.
His should have been drank a while ago. His
This
probably
one should
shouldn't be
probably
drank
be-
till like the summer.
Exactly.
Tell us who won!
I drank more of this one while we sat here, but I'm honestly more interested in what this one's gonna become, and I feel like it's got a lot more soul to it. So I'm gonna go with Dawson. I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised either, and I have to. His ego requires more feeding.
We're all winners.
Except for me.
Mainly because being the only person that's seen both sides of the footage we shot that day already is like, Dawson put a lot more brain power into
Yeah,
this
he did. But you put a lot more thought into this. And he braved the elements to brew the beer.
That's true.
This is good, man. I'm excited to drink this, like Chip said, in a couple weeks, 3 weeks.
3 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, this is a good.
I want to
beer
see that
sell.
cork fly off that thing the next time we pop one.
And I, not to get too much into geeking out about this beer, but now that we can put them in these bottles, like small amounts, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, I buy Belgian beers in the Bombers and in the 750s, and when they're this strong, I mean, if you don't have a friend around, I'm not going to drink that beer
Right.
in an evening, So this is...
This is perfect because then you don't have to share.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Here's to a great brew session, couple of brew sessions.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for being the
Voice of reason.
voice of reason, Chip. So remember, everybody, support Northern Brewer, because when you support Northern Brewer, you support us, because we are Northern Brewer, Brewing TV. If you do put an order in with Northern Brewer, let them know that we sent you there. Say, hey, BTV sent me here, I love you guys. We get that feedback, we like to see that. It keeps us gassed and keeps us doing what we like to do.
You also have to say you love us. That's
You
an
have to.
important part.
Love, not
of the
like,
message.
but love.
Right.
And don't forget, we are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and now we're on Pinterest.
What's Pinterest?
Not exactly sure yet. Why don't you guys get on there and tell us?
What happened to Friendster?
Until next time, all for brew.
Brew for all.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
On the next episode of Brewing TV, we're getting down with the Big Dipper, as in double IPA. We document our good friend Nathan Smith as he brews a split batch hop bomb called Explosion IPA. Then we join Nathan's sous chef Chris England for tasting notes and some thoughts on the style. Brewing TV, episode 59, The Big Dipper. Post online April 6, 2012.
What's up? From the kitchen.
Just let's take it from there.
Take it from the top.
Take it from the, no, not the top.
Talk just kind of normal for a second.
Talking normal. Charlie, how was your day? How was your day, Charlie? How was your day? I just feel like laying down and going to sleep. It's not. Doesn't feel cold anymore. I feel kind of warm. I can see Sonic Youth from Goo. You can see Nevermind era Nirvana.
Sit into the darkness of the sea.